Hi, I'm Colleen Taylor with TechCrunch TV. Here with me is Dave Morin, the founder and CEO of Path. We're here at South by Southwest. So let's talk Path 2.1. That just came out, I guess, not even a week ago now. What can you tell us about what's new and why you guys are going in this direction?
Sure. Our big news for Path 2.1 is that we are releasing the Path API for the first time, and it's a private API to start. We're starting with a single partner, Nike, and we're super excited about that because at Path we're all about helping people share their lives, share their day with the people they care about the most, and a big part of people's day is working out, and we think what Nike's up to in that space is sort of pretty interesting and sort of visionary, and so we're working sort of to get that integrated into people's paths.
And at the same time, you released some pretty cool photo updates, at least for iOS, right? So it's not that you're going down the route of just health things. You're also keeping the photo stuff pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, at Path we really care about helping people tell stories and sort of add color to their day, add interestingness around their day, and so we constantly are trying to make our camera better. We added a couple of cool features to the camera this time. One was focus and exposure, so you can now split the focus into a focus and exposure meter and sort of do those two things in tandem, which is pretty cool. Also, we added some new filters, so the newest one is called POW. It makes your photos look like a comic book, which is fun. And then we also improved the music stories and the ability to capture music. So with the new feature we call Music Match, we worked with, in partnership actually with Grace Note. And so now you can listen to a song that you hear and find out what it is and then put it into your path.
Yeah. So on all fronts, it seems like it's developing new features to the app everywhere now.
Yeah, I mean, we really are focused on helping people tell more of their stories. The Nike stuff we're really excited about. We started with running, so Nike Plus running has been a big, they've been a big part of the App Store for many years, and many people use it. And so we started there. You can add a map, beautiful map that's all touch enabled. Once you're done with your run, and when you start out going on a run, we actually update your path saying, Colleen went for a run through the rain in Austin, and so we actually do some really neat contextual things, and as people respond to it, you actually can get cheers in your headphones as you're running, which is nice because we focus a lot on getting people real-time feedback at Path, so we think that getting real-time sort of cheers from your family is going to be a fun thing. And then we're also really excited about the Nike Plus Fuel Band, so and we'll be rolling that out in a couple of weeks, and that's, I think, particularly interesting because I run a little bit, but not as much as some other people, and the Fuel Band is really neat because anyone can wear it, and it gives you just a slight bit more data about your day, and that might help you make better decisions for tomorrow. And so I think we're going to do some neat stuff with that, so I'm excited to roll that out in a couple weeks as well.
And so do you have any timeline on when you think you'll eventually open up a public API? I mean, that seems like it's in your sights, or that's a goal of yours, which is different from, I guess, Google+. Vic Gundotra, he's said here at South by Southwest that that's not something that he wants to do. I mean, what do you think about just API in general, and where does it make sense for Path?
For us, we're so focused on quality. We really want people to get the content, so the moments on Path in real time. We want to make the feed less noisy by curating the list of people you're connected to, right? So on Path, we ask you to connect to less people, not more, and so that makes it so that you can read every story in the feed. And, for us, it's about making sure that each one of those stories is worth reading and that they represent big pieces of people's days and things like that. And so we're sort of approaching the API from a quality-driven standpoint. We want to work with some of the best developers in the App Store and on Android to sort of help people, whether it's a game that they play a lot during the day or a app that helps them, be more healthy, or, other applications which are big parts of people's days. We want to get those into people's paths in a way that they appreciate and in a way that's high quality. And so doing that, I think, requires a little bit of design and collaboration between us and these other folks. And so we're starting out that way, but our eye is certainly on opening it to everyone sooner or later. But even if and when we do that, it'll probably be a lot more sort of the Apple approach to making sure that we sort of help people and get things to the quality that Path users are looking for. So.
And so I know you're focused obviously on Path all the time, but have you seen any cool apps recently or anything here at South by Southwest that you've been sort of excited about or using?
It's probably cliche, but I really love what Paul's doing with Highlight. And yeah, that's an idea that I've way back in the Facebook days, we used to work on a lot of what people have in common with each other, and I think that mobile sort of provides an opportunity to do that kind of you could call it people discovery, but it's just sort of making the world around you sort of have less friction. Yeah. Like the idea that everyone's someone you could talk to if you knew what you had in common with them is kind of interesting, and so I really appreciate what Paul's doing. So.
And any thoughts on the Facebook IPO and how that might affect like the larger startup ecosystem? Is there any talk? I mean, I'm sure you talk to entrepreneurs all the time.
Sure. I think that it's a really good thing. If you sort of step back for a minute and think about technology as a whole, I think it's important that we have our stars and our best companies sort of going out and becoming public, something that the world can interact with and support. I mean, that's really what the process of going public is about, is sort of saying to people, we want everyone to be involved on sort of every vector. And so I think that it's good that there's, that it's beginning to happen again. I mean, there was a big number of years where many tech companies were not going public. So I think it's a good step forward, and hopefully Facebook begins to pave the way for more tech companies to be real sort of very large public entities, and I think it's an important step.
So speaking of which, are you guys raising another round of funding? What's going on at the corporate level at Path?
We don't talk about that publicly, but it's something that we're certainly thinking about, and we'll come back and talk to you about it if and when we do it. Cool.
So that sounds good. So anything next over the next couple months? I mean, you guys just put out 2.1, but is there anything you could tell me about what's next for the app?
Just a lot of thinking about our API and working with more partners. We've got a few more lined up in the queue that we're pretty excited about. So we'll probably, very carefully craft each one of them, and so those things are pretty exciting. And other than that, we like keeping things a secret until we launch it. So, but we got a lot more cool stuff coming.
Great. Well, thanks, Dave. Thanks for talking to us.